Hey everyone, ready to take your Instagram and Threads game to the next level
We're going to explore some strategies that go beyond the basics.
and help you turn those followers into customers.
We're diving deep into a guide called Guide to Use Instagram and Threads to Grow Your Brand and Generate a Landing Page with JEE7 AI Web Builder.
The thing that stood out to me was this idea of thinking about your Instagram like a storefront.
Exactly, instead of just posting random content.
You want to create a cohesive and inviting presence.
Think about it this way. If someone landed on your profile for the first time,
Would they instantly get what you're all about?
would they understand what you offer?
And what makes you unique?
It's not just about having great individual photos
It's about the overall aesthetic.
and making sure your profile reflects your brand's personality.
Okay, so we're talking about high-quality visuals.
But what does that really mean?
Is it more than just good lighting and filters?
Definitely. It goes deeper than that.
It's about understanding your brand's vibe.
Are you minimalist and modern?
Or vibrant and playful? Are you aspirational and luxurious?
Or down to earth and relatable?
All of this should be reflected in your visuals.
From your color palette to your editing style.
And don't forget about your captions and the overall tone of your content.
I love that. It's like if my brand was a person,
How would they dress?
what kind of home would they have?
What kind of music would they listen to?
That's such a cool way to think about it.
And remember,
That business profile on Instagram isn't just for show.
it gives you access to valuable analytics
That can help you understand your audience.
and tailor your content to what resonates with them.
Okay, hold on a second. I have a question.
Go for it.
I'm already using a business profile,
Great.
but to be honest,
Yeah.
I find the analytics a bit overwhelming.
Oh, I hear that.
There's so much data.
Right.
What should I actually be paying attention to?
Focus on the insights that help you refine your strategy.
Like what?
For example,
Okay,
when is your audience most active online?
that makes sense.
You want to post when they're most likely to see it.
Right.
Also, pay attention to which posts are getting the most engagement.
So that tells me what my audience finds valuable.
Exactly. You're seeing what they respond to.
And I can create more of that kind of content.
It's not just about looking at the numbers themselves.
It's about what those numbers tell you about your audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about using data to inform your decisions.
Gotcha.
And speaking of content,
Yes.
let's not forget about the importance of having a good mix.
Right. We need to keep things interesting.
You want to educate your audience,
Provide value.
entertain them,
And of course,
promote your products or services,
it's like finding that balance between being informative.
and being engaging.
This is where I sometimes get stuck.
Oh, yeah.
How do I make my educational content
Yeah.
not sound like a boring textbook?
That's a great question.
I want to teach people things,
Right.
but I don't want to put them to sleep.
It's all about finding a way to make it relevant and engaging.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Think about what unique knowledge you have that your audience is craving. What are those insider tips or secrets that you can share?
Okay, so it's about finding that sweet spot between...
Informative and entertaining.
Gotcha.
Give them something they can actually use.
Okay, now let's talk hashtags.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like there's so much confusion around this.
There really is.
Is there a magic number?
The guide we're talking about today actually debunks the myth of using as many hashtags as possible.
Really?
It's not about quantity.
But quality.
Exactly.
Wow.
You're better off using 10, 15 well-researched hashtags
Like, really?
that are super relevant to your content and your target audience.
Only 10 to 15.
Think about it this, way too many hashtags.
Okay.
It can make you look a bit spammy.
That's a good point.
It can also make it harder for the algorithm to understand what your content is actually about.
So I could actually be hurting my reach by using too many hashtags.
Potentially, yes.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light here.
It's about being strategic and intentional.
And choosing hashtags that will actually attract the right people.
Exactly. You're not just trying to reach anyone.
You're trying to reach your ideal customer.
The people who are most likely to be interested in what you have to offer.
So it's like trying to hit a bullseye.
With a few well-aimed darts.
Instead of just throwing a handful randomly.
Exactly. You want to be precise and focused.
That makes a lot of sense.
And remember,
Yes.
hashtags aren't just about attracting new followers.
Oh, that's what they're for.
They can also help you categorize your content
Okay.
and make it easier for people to find what they're looking for on your profile.
So it's almost like creating your own little filing system within Instagram,
Exactly. You're making your content more discoverable.
both for new followers.
And for people who are already following you.
Speaking of people who are already following you,
Yes.
that's where stories come in.
Yes. Stories are a fantastic way to connect with your audience on a more personal level.
And build those relationships.
You can use stories to show off your personality.
Give people a behind-the-scenes look at your business.
And share content that's a little more off the cuff and spontaneous.
It's like a sneak peek into our world.
Exactly. And the best part about stories,
What's that?
they don't have to be perfectly polished and edited.
Oh, thank goodness. Sometimes I get caught up in trying to make things perfect.
I totally get it.
But stories are more about being real and authentic.
You want to let your personality shine through.
Show your audience that there are real people behind the brand.
It's about building that connection.
And making people feel like they know you.
Right. It's about building trust and credibility.
So what kind of things should we be sharing on stories?
Think about what would intrigue your ideal customer.
Okay.
What kind of behind-the-scenes glimpses would they find interesting? What would make them want to learn more about you and your brand?
Gotcha. And once we've created these awesome stories,
Yes.
we can categorize them and save them as highlights on our profile.
Right. Highlights are like little mini trailers.
For different aspects of your brand,
It's a way to give people a quick overview.
of what you're all about,
Someone who's new to your profile can quickly catch up
and get a sense of what you offer.
without having to scroll through all of your past posts.
It's like having a curated mini-series that lives permanently on your profile.
Exactly. You're showcasing the best of your brand.
Okay, so we've talked about visuals,
Content mix,
hashtags.
and stories.
What am I missing?
Don't forget about engagement.
Oh, right! We can't just be posting into the void.
Exactly. You want to be interacting with your audience,
Responding to comments.
answering DMs.
And participating in conversations.
It shows that you're listening,
And that there's a real person behind the brand.
which is so important these days.
People are craving that genuine connection.
Absolutely. They want to feel seen and heard.
So the more we engage...
The more we build a loyal community around our brand.
Okay. That's a lot to chew on already.
I know, right?
And we haven't even gotten to threads yet.
We'll save that for the next part.
But before we move on, is there one big takeaway about Instagram that you want our listeners to really internalize?
I'd say the most important thing is to remember that your Instagram profile is your online storefront.
Make it visually appealing.
Informative.
Engaging.
Make it reflect the unique personality of your brand.
So people instantly know what you're all about.
I love that. So we've laid the groundwork on Instagram.
Now it's time to explore how threads can add another dimension to our social media strategy.
We'll dive into that in the next part of this deep dive.
Stay tuned. Now we've got your Instagram game on point, but there's another platform that's become essential for brands.
Threads.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on threads?
Well, honestly, I kind of saw it as a little more on the casual side,
Yeah.
like a place for, quick updates, behind the scenes snippets.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing there's a lot more to it
It really is.
than I initially thought.
One of the things that's so fascinating about threads is that real-time connection.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's like having a live conversation with your audience.
It's true.
You can ask a question and get immediate responses.
And that back and forth is really hard to replicate elsewhere.
It's very dynamic.
It is.
So it's not just about posting and hoping for the best.
Right, it's about actively participating.
Building those relationships in real time.
Like you're actually having a conversation.
It's like hosting a virtual meet and greet.
I love that.
You can share insights,
Answer
get
questions.
feedback on ideas.
All in real time.
It's a fantastic way to show that human side of your brand.
That's so important.
So how can you actually use threads strategically?
Yeah. Are we talking hashtags, mentions, all that?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Hashtags work similarly to Instagram,
Okay.
helping people discover your content. But mentions are even more powerful here.
Oh, how so?
Tagging relevant influencers or businesses
Okay.
can open doors to collaborations and partnerships.
Interesting.
So you can reach out to people
Okay.
who align with your brand.
You know, I actually saw a great example of this the other day.
Oh, yeah?
This brand name was having a conversation on Threads about sustainability.
Right.
And they tagged a few eco-conscious influencers in the conversation.
Sorry.
It sparked this really interesting discussion
That's awesome.
and exposed them to a whole new audience.
That's the power of threads.
It is.
It's not just about connecting with your existing audience.
Right.
It's also about expanding your reach.
Okay, so we're posting engaging content, we're hopping into conversations,
Yep.
we're tagging relevant accounts.
Yes.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we want to get those followers off the platform
Right.
and onto our landing page.
Exactly. That's where the rubber meets the road.
We're trying to convert that initial interest into tangible action.
And the first step is making that link super easy to find.
Yes, the infamous link in bio.
The link in bio.
I've definitely been guilty of,
Yeah.
scrolling through someone's profile.
Trying to find it.
Like, where is it?
Per read.
Yeah.
Make it crystal clear in both your Instagram bio and your Threads profile
Okay.
that there's a link to your landing page.
So we're not making people work for it.
No front and center.
Easy to find.
And
right.
then we need to promote that landing page like it's the hottest ticket in town.
Okay, how do we do that?
Use your posts and stories to build anticipation.
Okay.
Offer sneak peeks of what's on the landing page. Highlight its benefits.
Okay.
Make it irresistible for people to click.
So what kind of things would entice people to click?
Think about what would entice you to click.
Okay.
A free guide,
A discount code.
early access to a product launch.
Ooh, a chance to win something.
Yeah.
Those are all good.
Give them a reason to want to check it out.
Right. Package it in a way that makes sense for your audience.
Exactly.
Speaking of landing pages,
Yes.
our guide introduces this tool called JEE7 AI Web Builder.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It sounds pretty amazing.
It really is. It leverages AI to help you create landing pages that are not only visually appealing,
Okay.
but also optimized for conversions.
Okay. I have to ask,
Yeah.
how does AI actually help build a better landing page?
It's pretty incredible.
It does sound pretty futuristic.
It is. Well, JE7's AI analyzes thousands of high-performing landing pages
Wow.
to identify patterns and predict what elements resonate most with your target audience.
So it's not just about slapping together a pretty page.
No.
It's about using data-driven insights.
To design something that actually converts.
That's so smart.
And it can even generate content for you.
Oh.
Headlines, descriptions, calls to action.
So it's like having an AI copywriter.
Yes.
And designer.
At your fingertips.
Wow.
It's all about making the process easier and more effective.
So how does it work?
It's very user-friendly.
Okay, good.
You choose a mobile-optimized template.
Okay.
The AI generates content tailored to your goals, and you can customize everything with drag-and-drop ease.
So even if I'm not a tech whiz,
Exactly.
I can still create a really great landing page.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, I'm sold on JE7.
It's a game changer.
It is, but now I'm thinking we've built this incredible landing page. How do we leverage Instagram and Threads to really maximize its impact?
That's where the magic of cross-platform promotion comes in.
Okay, tell me more.
You want to create a cohesive ecosystem where your social media content seamlessly guides people to your landing page.
Gotcha.
So it's not just about randomly dropping the link in every post.
Right.
You want to strategically create content that piques curiosity
Okay.
and makes people want to learn more.
So it's like we're telling a story.
Exactly.
Instagram and Threads are the teaser.
Yes.
And the landing page is where the story unfolds.
And the real action happens.
I love that analogy.
It's all connected.
It is.
So think about what kind of content you can create
Okay.
that highlights the benefits of your landing page.
Okay, like maybe some behind-the-scenes glimpses.
Yeah.
Showing how it was created.
Or sneak peeks of what's on there.
Right, make them feel like they're missing out if they don't check it out.
Exactly.
And don't forget about the power of user-generated content.
Yes.
Encourage your followers to share their experiences with your brand or landing page.
Those authentic testimonials,
They go a long way.
people trust what other people say.
That's a great idea.
So leverage that social proof.
And maybe we could even run a contest or a giveaway
Oh, I love that idea.
where people have to visit the landing page to enter.
That's brilliant.
So we're incentivizing engagement
Yes.
and driving traffic to the landing page?
Use a unique hashtag for the contest.
Oh, that's smart. So we can track entries and generate buzz.
It's all about getting creative and thinking outside the box.
I love it.
But here's something I see a lot of people struggling with.
What's that?
They'll post about their landing page,
Yeah.
and it'll get a lot of likes,
Okay.
but not many clicks.
Oh, I've been there.
It's frustrating.
What are we doing wrong?
That's where data analysis comes in.
Okay.
It's not just about doing the thing.
Right.
It's about understanding what's working, what's not.
So we're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Exactly. We're looking at the data to see what's resonating with our audience.
We're posting, we're engaging, we're promoting, but it's not just about, doing the thing.
Right.
We have to understand what's working and what's not.
Exactly.
Data analysis is key here.
Absolutely. Both JE7 and the social platforms themselves offer really powerful analytics tools.
So we can actually get insights into what our audience is doing.
And how they're responding to our content.
So rather than just, blindly posting,
Yeah.
we're using data to inform our strategy,
Exactly.
make sure our efforts are actually paying off.
You got it.
So what kind of data should we be looking at?
Well, in your JE7 dashboard, you can track things like click-through rates.
Okay.
So if a post promoting your landing page is getting lots of likes, but few clicks, maybe the problem is your call to action,
Ah, interesting.
not the offer itself.
So it's not just about overall engagement.
Right.
It's about really understanding that user journey.
Exactly.
They see the post, they like it, but something's preventing them from clicking through.
You want to figure out what that is?
Okay. And what about on the Instagram side of things?
You can track things like reach and engagement on your posts and stories,
Okay.
but also pay attention to things like website clicks.
So how many people are actually clicking through to my website from my profile?
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can also see which landing page elements are performing well.
Oh, that's interesting.
So are people signing up for your email list? Downloading your guide?
Okay.
This data tells you what's resonating with your audience.
And what needs tweaking?
You're constantly iterating and improving.
It's like having a feedback loop
Exactly.
that helps us refine our approach over time.
And don't forget to look at the big picture, too. Are you seeing an overall increase in traffic to your landing page? Are those visitors converting into customers?
That's the ultimate goal.
It is.
So we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From building a strong foundation on Instagram
To mastering threads.
to creating high-converting landing pages.
And using data to optimize our results.
It's been a really insightful deep dive.
It has. I feel like we've given our listeners a lot to think about.
Before we wrap up,
Yes.
I'd love to hear your final thoughts.
Well, I think the most important thing is to just take action.
Don't get overwhelmed by all the information.
Start with one small step.
Like what?
Update your bio link.
Okay.
Research some new hashtags. Brainstorm some engaging story ideas.
That's manageable.
The key is to experiment and see what works best for you.
That's such great advice. Experimentation is key.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time.
Happy strategizing.
Bye, everyone.